What is happening and why is Dangote slashing petrol price at this point in time, even though he has promised over 1.5 billion liters of PMS for Nigeria? So Dangote refinery slashed petrol price below 700, and that will be our talking point first today. As we take a look at the promises that is coming from Dangote, particularly with the PMS price, even as regard to his promising over 50 billion liters of PMS by next year, and also for now, over 1.5 billion liters of PMS is coming to the Nigerian market. And daily, he said, and just shortly, some few days ago, we had a meeting with President Bola Ahmed Tinubu where there are some great outing in terms of the Nigerian energy sector. And one of the outcome of it is what we are seeing and hearing right now, whereby the PMS S depot price have now been slashed below 700 naira. If you are buying PMS or buying S depot price PMS from Dangote refinery, is now below 700 naira. Around 669 naira per liter is what Dangote is selling its air depot price of PMS. But before we get into that discussion segment with Professor Ken, let's go to the market and see what is happening to the Nigerian stock market as of now. So today's market is quite interesting. So let's have it. And it's a bullish outing again on Nigerian stock market with 128 listed companies participating, 38 gainers and 24 losers. We also have a market capitalization at 94.3 trillion naira, a market value at 12.311 trillion naira, 29% decline in a volume and 5% decline also in turnover. And meanwhile, we have a 17% decline in dues. On a 1 week gain, we have 1.70% on the gains. We also have a 1 week loss of 0.66. Meanwhile, on the year-to-year gains, we have 43.74% on the gains on terms of the of year-to-date gains. We also have an assets on top of volume. We have assets holding with 156 million naira shares. We also have FCMB at group with 74.5 million naira shares. Then Fidelity Bank at 42.9 million naira shares. Altogether, these are quite good outing on Nigerian stock market with this, ending the week with a bullish outing with 94.3 trillion naira capitalization on the market, as well as a 12.311 trillion naira in terms of market value today. Then let's quickly take a look at the top gainers table and see what is happening on the top gainers table. We have Baja Paint with 40.05, a plus 9.88. We also have Japal Gold with 2.78 with a plus 9.88. We also have Marison Industry with 3.89 with a plus 9.77. We also have PZ Cuisine with 45.15, a plus 9.36. Meanwhile, for the top gainers, Baja Paint is back, Japal Gold is also there. Marison Industry is also on the pack for today on the top gainers table, as well as PZ Cuisine, all leading on the top gainers table for today. But let's check out the top loser side of the table and see what is happening. Talking about the top loser side, we have John Hurt with 4.90, a minus 9.26. Champion Brewery with 12.90, a minus 7.86. Then Eternal Energy Oil Company with 30.20, a minus 5.48. And VFD Group with 10.30, a minus 5.07. So for the top loser side, we have John Hurt, Champions Brewery, Eternal, and VFD Group on the top loser side of the table. Although, as I do say on this show, you can see them today on the top loser side. Tomorrow could be better for all these companies going forward. Well, let's check and begin to take a look at global energy price. Let's go international. As usual, let's go international and see what's happening to global energy price. WTI is back, although with a slight increase on the cent side of its price with a $57.71 with a plus 0.19. We also have Brent also coming back at 61.40 cents dollar per barrel with a plus 0.13. Bonnie Light has been on like this with over 184 days, still with a minus 5.75. Then we have OPEC basket with minus 3.12 on the side. But for OPEC basket, we saw OPEC basket dragging price from $64 that it started the week to 63, from 63 to 62. And now as the week rounds up on the market, we have OPEC basket at $61.87 with a minus 3.12 as it stands. But let's check out the other page of energy commodity and see what is happening. So in the rest of the product, talking about natural gas, coal, ethanol, and the rest of them. For natural gas, it's still a minus 1.29. Coal is also dropping on its price from 110 to 109. From 109 today, it is now $108.75 with a minus 0.59. Then ethanol is back, rising gradually with a plus 1.11. And gasoline also is doing pretty well, having taken the lead with a plus 0.06. So for gasoline, a plus 0.06. For ethanol, a plus 1.11. And coal is on the right side with a minus 0.59. Meanwhile, for natural gas also, a minus 1.29 as it stands. So for all this energy commodity, it's really a mixed price coming from all of them. But it's good that some of them are ending the week on the bright side. The likes of coal is on the right side, the likes of ethanol is on the green side, and the likes of gasoline is also on the green side as it stands. But let's check out pressure industrial metal and see what is happening to pressure industrial metal price for today. Talking about gold, silver, copper, and steel. For gold, it's a good one coming back from the red outing it has experienced since on Monday, but today, wrapping up the market on today is a good one with a plus 0.89. Silver also is wrapping up the market with a plus 0.92. But for copper and steel, it's a red day for them, I would say, with a minus 0.86 for copper and a minus 0.26 for steel. And talking about gold and silver, you know, few days in the week, we saw gold also on the right side. But of all these products, silver have been able to maintain a sustained and resilient price on the global pressure industrial metal across the world, making it one of the top price goods that have been able to enter. So let's also take a look at the next page of energy commodity, pressure industrial metal, and see what is happening to them all. Talking about iron ore, palladium, and platinum. For iron ore, is a good one as it stands with a minus 0.3. The palladium is also on the right side with a plus 2.10, I would say. Good one for palladium, good one for platinum, and good one for all the products, palladium, platinum, and lithium. But let's quickly check out, Nigerian FX market and see what Naira is doing today. Naira, a lot of projections have gone ahead. Naira is now 1,456 against dollar, 1,950 against British pounds, and 1,706 against euro, and 1,055 against Canadian dollar. So, but strictly, let's quickly join Professor Ken Efe right now. A breaking news has come from Dangote. He has reduced and slashed his S-Depot PMS price to 669. So, Prof. Ken, if you will be helping us to understand what has really happened. Just a few days back, Dangote had a meeting with President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and many are saying this could be one of the outcome of his price. You remember, and Prof is here. Prof, a very good day to have you on the show, sir.
Thank you for having me.
So this is a breaking news for Nigerians. Dangote slashing his PMS price to 699 naira per liter. What do you make of this latest price from Dangote?
First of all, he gave an assurance that there will be enough fuel for the period. He is doing 50 million liters a day, and he could deliver 1.5 billion liters in 30 days. So that is enough cover. Of course, the NMDPRA further confirmed that there will be sufficient fuel. The next thing is, are we going to have price stability? Dangote also confirmed that there will be price stability irrespective, because this was at the back of the 15% ad valorem tax. So he said that it's not going to influence his price, it's going to keep the price. If anything, the price will go down. So long as Nigeria continues to maintain our commitment under the PIA to cash for crude, crude for naira policy, which is fine. So now he has put paid to that promise by allowing a free fall on the price of fuel from the gantry price of 828 naira to 699. That is humongous. You are looking at about $129 naira drop in price. And we now hope that the petroleum retailers will respond, reciprocate, at least with not less than 100 naira drop in their current price. So that is the hope. But it is the good news for every Nigerian that we will not going to have the typical price hike in transportation costs, which is what puts pressure on inflation. So all things being equal, the inflation may need to come down further in this Christmas season as well as all these issues about hoarding and all that, they're all through the window, thanks to Dangote company.
Exactly. Now, I think some few days back, I won't actually pinpoint how many days back, but few days back, Dangote had a meeting with President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and many are already guessing that this could be the final arrangement of that meeting or the final outcome of that meeting. But what do you make of the meeting, and from what we are seeing right now, what do you make of the entirely?
No, I mean, Dangote always goes in to see the president occasionally to brief him on the dynamics and all of that. So it's not an unusual meeting. But you know, as our foremost man, we have so much confidence in him. He will always be eager to show that he has the interest of our citizens at heart. So there must be a goodie. So I'm not surprised that it came after that. But don't forget that yesterday, there was a bombshell. We had what we call 2 earth-shattering announcements and launches by Dangote. So again, if he was going to announce this, yesterday would be the best time to do this. He had the 2 major things. One, announcing his Vision 2030 of having to raise a turnover of $100 billion, and as he's going to market next year, very early next year, he's also looking forward to a market capitalization of $200 billion. That will bring Dangote in the bracket of the 100 biggest companies in the world, and then of course, you know, that would massively lift his personal fortune to maybe around 100 billion or more. So it's good news. And then, of course, on the other side, and then the more important thing is that it's all going to be financed from his cash flow. And that is the other most interesting thing. This guy is making a lot of money from his phosphates, from his fertilizer and jet fuel and all his exportables. So that is giving him the cushion of about 6.8 billion. So he's making money. And in fact, is even bold enough to say that when I come to market next year, buy my shares in Naira, I will be quite happy to pay you your dividend in dollars, subject to regulatory approval. I'm not even sure regulatory approval is necessary because this company is in the free trade zone. It's an international company. You know, it's in free trade zone. So, but whatever happens, he has to defer to the authorities. And he's done that because he said it in the presence of the vice president.
Exactly. And interesting, but
so many good things. Of course, the other announcement relates to the foundation, the foundation that has spread 1 trillion naira over the next 10 years. You know, that's 100 billion naira a month to train over 1.3 million people in this country. I mean, this is mind-boggling and earth-shattering, to say the least.
Now, Prof, there's one aspect of what Dangote is doing right now that many Nigerians need to be aware of. He said from January 1st, 2026, he's going to be releasing 57 million liters of PMS into the Nigerian market. Prof, would this be too much for the market to absorb? But let's have your view on that.
No, look, the thing is this. I mean, don't forget that in the next 2 years, not even 3 years,
exactly,
he's going to be doing 1.4 million barrels a day. More than twice the current capacity of 700 million, 650, 700,000 barrels a day. So it is never intended just for Nigerian market. He has an export market. Even up until last month, when he was doing 45 million barrels, only about 20 million was being taken in by the country. The other marketers were playing games with him and then giving him impossible conditions. But now he's running at 50 million liters, much more than Nigerian consumption capacity. But then he's always ready to export any surplus. The fact is that Nigerians need to be assured of availability of fuel, of a price reduction going forward, and also of accessibility. That's why he has put 10,000 trucks, CNG trucks, on the pipeline to deliver his products at the point of need. So massive changes are taking place in Nigeria. Exactly. And you can't ignore the fact that Bill is building his own in across Akwa Ibom, and then $50 billion refinery is coming on is going to come from Ondo, and there's another guy trying to do refinery refinery again in Lagos, plus the modular refinery 3. So Nigeria will become a refinery hub for Africa.
Exactly.
And it's not just Africa, because Dangote is already exporting to Saudi Arabia, to Europe, to America, to Brazil. He's exporting everywhere.
Exactly.
So it's going to be interesting time for Nigeria.
But interestingly, one of the outcome of his meeting with President Bola Ahmed Tinubu a few days ago was his concern about fuel smuggling out of the country. But what will you have to say to him now? Because from the discussion you had with the president, it seems that this problem needs to be solved. But from you as an expert in that sector, what advice will you give the president as well as to Dangote Refinery themselves?
Now, see, first and foremost, even with the 15% price increase that was anticipated, that would have brought the fuel at $0.62 per liter, compared to Ghana, that is selling at $1.37 per liter, more than twice what we are selling, and then 1.7 liter per barrel, $1.7 per barrel per liter for Cote d'Ivoire and Senegal, 3 times. So obviously, if Nigeria is selling at such a low number, it's an incentive for subsidy in the export of those. So that is what will happen. So they will be hemorrhaging his subsidy. His subsidy is intended for Nigerians, but not for the export market. The fact of the matter is this: those importers that are importing substandard fuel, could you please take them to Ghana and make 100% profit, or take them to Sierra Leone, Cote d'Ivoire, and Senegal and make 200% profit, rather than continue that making it business as usual, which we know, you and me knows, that there are a lot of things going under the bridge there. You know, it's that the fraud has not subsided and all of those. So there's very little case for that import dependency to continue to thrive. So that is the point.
Exactly.
So if he goes to the president and raises that issue, then it's a legitimate concern. So president should be ordering the customs to tighten up on movement of products across the borders.
Exactly.
So that Nigerians can enjoy that benefit.
Exactly. Prof, as we begin to round up, one of the key issues we also need to bring up is the aspect of cooking gas. We also know that Dangote is producing cooking gas, but we don't hear more of cooking gas aspect, just like we are hearing much more from the PMS. So what are you what is the main issue within this cooking gas supply in the country?
Well, the gas is essentially the gas that is being used for CNG purposes. So you've got investment going in there, and then you also have stations, 100 stations for CNG stations. So you know that is a work in progress, and I'm sure that may well come forward as one of the new things to be expected in the new year. So I don't think anybody has ignored that, because our transition plan, gas is our transition plan going up to 2060. So Nigeria will not give up on that, and Dangote has shown that leadership by investing massively on 10,000 trucks and then 100 CNG stations. So the next thing is for that to support more conversion and more gas availability to the domestic sector. So that's a work in progress, and I'm sure it's going to come. Exactly. But we also need to realize that some other things that are happening. For example, remember I mentioned about the Dangote Foundation.
Exactly.
The numbers there are staggering. The numbers are not only $100 billion a year for the next 10 years, which is $1 trillion. This money is $700 million. Now compare that to other efforts from other individuals trying to support philanthropy. That is mind-boggling. And then, of course, if you look at the numbers, it will begin from 45,000, that is 30,000 STEM graduates. Is STEM, which is science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. What he's doing here, he's actually building a new skills agenda for industrial transformation of Nigeria, and of course, by implication, of Africa. So he's training people for the skills required for that transformation to take place. So it starts from about 45,000 people in a year, of course, broken down to 30,000 STEM graduates. And then you also have 10,000 teachers that are going to be trained in STEM education and as well as 5,000 that will be done on TVET, you know, these technical and vocational skills, which is important because the colonies left us with build schools. We're building hundreds of thousands of schools rather than build skills. The technicians you need, you can't find. You have to go to Cote d'Ivoire, Togo, to go and get people to lay tiles for you and to do. It's unbelievable to paint your house because we just don't pay attention. You just produce graduates that didn't have enough skills or the right combination of skills for the labor market. So it's a mismatch.
Exactly.
But he's now correcting it. But more importantly, he's addressing gender balance by making sure that, I mean, I didn't cry when my mom died. I didn't cry when my dad died, but I cried yesterday. I cried out of joy because 45 years of being in UK and coming to Nigeria saying we must do something for this country. Yesterday was the day I felt that something was happening to our country.
Exactly.
We are now taking back our country in style. And so you could see, I calculated, his calculation is that he will do 1.3 million people. I did my own economic modeling, econometric modeling last night. I actually think that without his budget, he might actually do 5 million people. So we'll have to see how that goes.
Exactly.
So this is horrendous.
Exactly. Prof, I really want to appreciate you for all these submission you have made on this particular issue of Dangote slashing the PMS SW price to 699 naira per litre. And to also inform our viewers, ECOWAS has also appointed Dangote as the chairman of the industrial hub committee that's coming up. I know you're also aware of that. But Prof,
I'm the consultant.
Exactly. I know you are aware of that.
I'm the ECOWAS consultant.
Exactly. So we will definitely come back to revisit this decision.
We've been working on this since 2009.
Exactly. So we'll definitely call on you to discuss furthermore on ECOWAS Dangote partnership and the rest of the refinery that Dangote is building and the PMS that has been able to supply to Nigeria. 57 million liters daily is a good one. But Prof, we'll get to hear from you soon. Thank you so much for coming on the show, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Right,
Thank you very much.
All right. I've been speaking with Professor Ken, if you happen to be the president of IPEM, that means Institute for Professional Economists and Policy Manager. But here in the studio, I also have an engineer who will be helping us to dissect the ICT sector in Nigeria. But can ICT really go forward without energy power like PMS to power energy in Nigeria? So I'm directing a question to Engineer Gbenga right now. How did you receive the latest information coming from Dangote refinery slashing its price from 820 to 699 naira per litre?
Dangote really showed that it's truly a pan-Nigeria and it was the best for Nigeria. And when I heard the announcement, say, wow, number one, reducing the price to 699 plus or minus, I'll be actually getting to sell it around 750 to 800 naira. I mean, between 750 naira to 800 naira. Lagos will be selling around 700 to 730 naira. That would be a huge, reduction, and to be a good news for Nigeria. And this is a breaking news because I'm hearing it from you for the first time.
Exactly.
I appreciate that. Well, I have not really heard of it. I'm hearing it, and I want to let you know that we should be very. Nigeria be very patriotic, especially our transporter and the middlemen. Because let me tell you today, in Abuja, for my own assessment, because I use CNG in Abuja, about 30% or 40% to 50% of transporter in Abuja are on CNG. Courtesy of government giving them freely. But they are still charged, they have not reduced their charges.
That means the transporter reducing their fare.
Yes, fair because they are on CNG. That look, I'm using CNG. Instead of me collecting 100 naira with other, let me reduce. They have not reduced it. Even all this our what do you call it, boat and the rest. 80% of them are CNG, but they see charges normal something. So my fear is that let the transporter not keep to the charges with the reduction.
Exactly.
And it will be fair to Nigeria, especially this festive period, to reduce their transport fare, both interstate and within Abuja and within the environment. To show Nigeria, look, really appreciate what Dangote is doing. Because if they did not do that, it's not really augur well with Nigeria.
Exactly.
That with that reduction, they are something. Then I want to also say to the filling station who are dispensing it, that with that reduction, they should follow suit. They should not say we want to sell all that you have in a reserve. And for the next, before the next 1 week, we are still paying the old price. Because what happened that either go they have increased, immediately they hear the news, they will sell the old one at the new price of increment. But now, I'm believing that they'll be patriotic enough to sell this new, whatever they have in their reserve at the price of a new one. So really a good news for Nigeria.
Exactly. Now let's now take it to the ICT sector.
Yes.
There's one of the issues that many experts like you in the ICT sector normally raise: power shortage, high cost of energy, and the rest of them. But with this new development now, even though we have gas also available as alternative source, but with this new development now, how do you see this new development, these new news driving the ICT sector? I mean, from now to maybe first quarter of 2026?
Well, we may not have much impact because we talk of energy. I mean, many are still depending on diesel to run their factory, to run their industry, to run their business. So the impact may not be there as much because we have not heard that it has reduced the price of diesel. So we will not see much impact. And also, what we are looking for, which is that the energy sector should focus on helping, or I don't know why Dangote people like him have not invested in the distribution company. The distribution company in Nigeria is still the problem of our energy problem because they don't have enough to take from what we are generating and transmitting. We are generating about a capacity anyway. We have about 13,000 megawatt capacity. Transmission can handle about 7,000 megawatts. But distribution can only take about 5,000 megawatts. So with that, we do not feel what Dangote is trying to do because distribution is still having a lot of problems. Many of them are not really investing in the system, in the infrastructure. Like you still have the transformer that is powering a community that has 100 houses about 10 years ago. Now the community is having about 300, 400 houses. The same transformer is powering it. So the consumer are not getting value for money, you know. So because there's no, I mean, they have not upgraded all those transformer, either bringing more transformer or replacing with a higher one. So that's why I'm saying that really the problem we have in Nigeria is still with the distribution. The ICT sector may not really have this real impact because the supply is still the same.
Exactly. But let's now take a look at the ICT sector in 2025. You know, the Nigerian economy in third quarter recorded about 3.98%. And ICT alone contributed about 9.10%. You are in that sector.
Yes.
How did you guys achieve that for the Nigerian economy?
They were able to achieve that because, number one, there are a lot of investment in ICT. Last time I came here, I told you that the foreign investment this year alone is about $3.something billion. You know, so people are investors coming more. Fintech, we're having more fintech. Look at it now. Everywhere you go now, people are using more of this OPay. They are using more of this PalmPay and the rest of it. You know, and now you can see that even now what we call it the terminals in the bank where you withdraw money. I'm trying to get the ATM is becoming unpopular. People prefer to go just the next house or just go to your street and withdraw how much you want to withdraw. So because of that, you see the ICT growing. Even the telecom, subscribers are subscribing more into data and into connectivity. So that's really increased the impact of the telecoms and ICT in the GDP of Nigeria, because people are getting more connected and people are, you know, and people need data to do their business. Many businesses are being done online. A lot of things are going on. So people are streaming, you know, like now, some people are doing away with cable television, going to streaming, you know, so you need data. You know, many cables are being laid all over Nigeria, providing fiber connections. So these are also enhanced connectivity and it has really helped. So that's why you see that IT industry is really making more impact in the GDP.
Exactly. And talking about the ICT sector, even though with all these laudable gains, because the NBA, Nigerian Bureau of Statistics, said it has become a stronger gain for the Nigerian economy, but we still have some issues within that sector, particularly, you know, broadband. And most Nigerians, sometimes when people confront me and ask me, in the ICT sector, we talk about broadband, we talk about what does it really entail. I know you are deep in that sector. help me to explain to our viewers. So I've been asking questions about broadband and the rest of it.
Yes, thank you very much. Just like you mentioned before, from MBC, ICT is the third largest contributor to our GDP. But the issue of broadband is still an issue. And broadband means that, look, some part of Nigeria today are still on 2G, 3G. There are some parts of Nigeria today that have no network at all. And that's why the issue of this bandit being able to carry the operation in such a way that before the military or the army get them advanced, because some places do not have network. And that's the reason why this government, through the Ministry of Communication, Innovation, and what we call it, digital economy, is trying to lay about 90,000 kilometers of fiber across Nigeria to connect the zone and to connect the region. So until that is done, the broadband effect will not be there. Because today, if you are connected to 3G or 4G, you want to download something like a 1 gigabyte data, it takes like next 1 hour. But if you have a fiber and you are having about maybe 100 megabyte per second download speed, within 5 minutes, 3 minutes, you already have all your something. You can stream and you can, and also it will help productivity because people like some of you who are into media, you could be able to transmit your program easily and also it will reduce cost. So broadband effect penetration is still very, very low in Nigeria. Sadly, in the suburb, in the rural area, and the rest of it. Like now, you are into project, you are having a project in a village or in a community. You will see that immediately you leave the city center, the capital, it's very difficult for you to communicate. Exactly. Because the connection is not there. So that's why that the problem is really very huge. So with the program of the government to lay this fiber 90,000 kilometer, being supported by other foreign partners like World Bank and the rest, we'll see that it really have a huge effect in the broadband in Nigeria.
Now, to the ordinary people, ordinary Nigerians, they still complain about high cost of data and the issue around the cost they pay for all these services of ICT. Well, in your own view, because in the power sector, I know you're also in the power sector, we normally talk about what do you call it, relative cost to supply. Well, in the case of ICT, telecommunication, we have had a high increase in their tariff, but there's still an issue.
The issue is border on supply. Many of these stations and transmission stations, they are still using based on diesel generator. So, and that is very costly to maintain. So, and that's a problem we are still having. But it's really not helping. The energy sector, to support the ICT is really a problem in Nigeria.
Exactly. You have made mention of what the government is doing practically, but on the private sector side, what have you heard them doing to drive this initiative, particularly to strengthen the resilience of the ICT sector in Nigeria? Private companies like MTN and others, they are building data centers and the rest of it. And also MTN also on their own, they are also laying fiber, penetrating. If you go to many estates in Abuja now, you see that MTN and other telecom private companies are already, they are there laying cables, providing broadband, using fiber optic and the rest of it. So they are contributing a lot in the area of ICT. But the major one, just like a prof said when he was doing that, look, technical support, technical support in Nigeria, the manpower is not yet there, So that's why want government to intensify their effort to make sure that, number one, they increase they are able to fund the technical colleges in Nigeria and also engineering technology, engineering in Nigeria, in our university and polytechnic, to produce engineers and technologists and technicians that can support the IT industry. Is that area is still lacking. And government is doing something now, presently. They are having some collaboration with the EU and other organizations to train 3 million Nigeria.
and link them with employer all over Nigeria. So that program is going on. They call it 3MTT, you know, in collaboration with they call it Talent Hunt, you know, and this initiative really helped a lot, you know. The UNDP is supporting it, and Nigerian Jubilee Fellow Program also is supporting it. So if you can get 3 million, you know, technical personnel into ICT, it really help the ICT industry, because that is lacking a lot in the ICT industry, to get the technical personnel who can handle, who can support, who can solve problems, who can support the IT industry. So that is one of the things that the ministry is doing in that area.
Exactly. But Mr. Engineer Gbenga, will soon come back to you. But let's quickly join Mr. Charles Omonewebe right now, all the way in Lagos, will be helping us to understand, you know, various opportunities that are available in Nigerian security trading sector. Mr. Charles, are you there?
Thank you. I'm here.
All right, so let's get straight to our discussion on the Nigerian security trading sector. I know you must have followed the Nigerian Security and Exchange Commission Capital Market Committee meeting that was held on Monday, a few days back. And one of the key outcomes of that meeting was that they said, we are ready for technology integration into the market. But what do you make of this new latest reform that is coming to the use of technology in our capital market?
Thank you very much, Leko. You will see that even before that statement was made, that has been the cardinal point of the Securities and Exchange Commission. And of course, as Apex, that has dovetailed to all the operators, even the investors. We all know that for us to unveil the opportunities in this market, technology has to play a major role. And you can see it in our day-to-day operations. As capital market operators, there is nothing we do without the leveraging of technology. And we have extended that even in our reporting. The way we report to our regulators, we use technology. We don't do manual again. Even our investors, we have given them online digital platforms that they can also place their order and deal with us. So technology has come to stay in the Nigerian capital market. In fact, kudos to SEC, because they are also licensing other operators in terms of fintech, because as much as they have responsibility of protecting the market, they also have responsibility of developing the market. So they are trying to give licenses to technology firms, which are now called fintech, so that whatever innovations that is coming out will be in line with the mandate of SEC, protection of investors, development of the market, and at the same time, making the market, investors to have confidence and making it user-friendly for everybody.
Exactly. Interesting from you, Mr. Charles. But let's quickly take a look at some of the issues on opportunities that are available in Nigerian security trading sector. Can you help us to break down those opportunities? Because many of our viewers on the Market Report Show ADBN look forward to learn more and have a better enlightenment when it comes to Nigerian capital market and the opportunities that are there. So take us through on some of the opportunities in the security trading sector.
Yes, thank you very much, Leko. Now, when you look at opportunities in the securities market, okay, I would say rather it's in the capital market. Now, I'll look at it from this various perspective. First of all, from the investor's perspective, what are the opportunities for the investors? A lot of opportunities. Like I said earlier, they can use technology to invest in the market. Then, at the same time, the investors are able to monitor the market. The investors are able to know what is going on in the market using technology. So these are opportunities there for investors, unlike in the past, where the investors are just bystander. Now, they are also active players in the market. You can imagine as an investor, your stockbroker or your operator will give you an access online trading where you on your own, you can begin to put in what you want to buy and what you want to sell. All this is enabled by technology. And of course, regulatory reforms from the apex. So that is for the investor. For the regulators themselves, I will tell you as we speak, most of my returns that we do on a monthly basis, on a quarterly basis, even on a daily basis, like this suspicious transaction report, all these are being done by technology. And it's not just for the sake of reporting. The regulators are using it to kind of create confidence in the market. And of course, foreign investors who are looking at us now will say, yes, there is transparency in this market. So that will also attract them to the market. That is for the regulators. Now for operators, the opportunities that are there, the operators can serve the Nigerian economy seamlessly. We can attract, or people can come to this market to raise funds. And we have seen federal government on a monthly basis or a weekly basis, federal government comes to the market to raise funds. And we have seen how all that funds has assisted in terms of infrastructural development. All these are from the securities market. Then the securities market also has a lot of sectors that the investors can invest in. You have the telecom sector, industrial sector, consumer goods sector, infrastructure and energy sector. So there's a lot of opportunities in the securities market. Some of the reforms that SEC is even doing now is to attract investors, make our investors have a lot of confidence in the market. In the past, we used to operate T+3. Now, we're operating T+2.
Exactly.
The $1 trillion economy or naira economy being spoken about, this is something that can be achieved very soon. For the DG making that statement, is already sure that we, the operators, we are going to be collaborating. If I was ever collaborating, of course, you can see the CMC meeting that was held in Lagos. A lot of us were there because the market has a lot of opportunities that not only the regulators can do, we as operators, we have to collaborate with them to see that we unlock the potentials of the securities market in the Nigerian economy.
Exactly. I'm talking about unlocking the potential and investment opportunity that are available on the stock market or the capital market of Nigeria. There is one particular segment of the market that most Nigerians are a little bit, I've seen people ask me questions in that regard. The equity investment opportunity, the bonds investment opportunity. Can you help us to make a clarification on these two subsectors on the capital market? Equity investment, also known as stock, as well as the bond that is quite related to the fixed income side.
Okay, thank you very much. In fact, this is very thoughtful of you. And I also get that question, not only you, as an operator, even as a broadcaster too. And our duty is to explain it.
Exactly.
Now, for bond, let me start with the bond. The bond sector is usually a fixed income. That is, you are giving money, let me put it that way, to a particular issuer, maybe a company or even the government. Okay? Now, they are going to tell you, give me this money, I'm going to pay you interest, which is a coupon, within a certain period. And if it's a 1-year bond, 2-year, 3-year, at the end of maturity, the investor gets his principal. Okay? But within a period, maybe if it is quarterly, even if it's monthly, he gets a coupon. That is for the bond market. And you can see that that is a used sector now. The federal government savings bond. Every month, the federal government comes to the market to raise that money. In fact, we've even seen the Sukuk bond. So it's a fixed income. And it's also good for investors who don't want to take risks. And at the same time, to diversify their portfolio. Now, coming to the equity side is the variable returns. The returns from the equity side are not fixed. You can't determine. It depends on the market volatility. Now, for equity investors, what it's saying is you are a part owner of the company. So if I buy a share of ADBN, assuming your company is listed on the market,
we are coming,
and I buy your share, that makes me a part owner of your company.
Exactly.
And if your company makes profit, I am entitled to a part of that profit. At the same time, if your company does not do well, I will also bear part of the risks. That is for equity. So our advice is always, for any investor, diversify your portfolio. Have some equity, also have some bond, because it's good to have a diversified portfolio in your investment.
Exactly. Interesting. I really love the way you have been able to, put all this in a simplified way for Nigerians to understand. But on the other hand, to take away the skepticism in the heart of Nigerians, to also take away that ignorance out of their hand, what do you think SEC need to do when it comes to financial literacy? On our part as broadcasters, just like you yourself and my humble self, we're trying to educate Nigeria. But on the part of SEC, what do we need to tell them when it comes to financial literacy for Nigerians on the issue of capital market and the security trading, that is opportunity that are available for them?
Yes, thank you very much. That is what we also call financial inclusion. And the Security and Exchange Commission, they can do a lot, and they have been doing. But like I've said earlier, they cannot do it alone.
Exactly.
And what we have been telling them and what they is collaboration. I'll give you a practical example. SEC in Lagos here organized a training program free of charge for soldiers in the Ojo cantonment. And in that, their team, SEC was there, stockbrokers were there, issuing houses were there, registrars, other operators in the market were there. That is financial literacy. And because of what we are seeing in the market, there are so many illegalities, and investors cannot differentiate which one is legal or not. And that's why we are seeing so many Ponzi schemes here and there. Financial literacy will continue to talk about it, will continue to advise investors with the collaboration of SEC and with SEC. And I'm so happy that when issues are coming up, we operators, we give the information to SEC, and SEC is coming out and saying to the general public, this and this and this investments are illegal. Please be watchful. So those are the things we are telling SEC to do now, and they are doing it. But we, as operators, the onus lies on us as the operators. SEC does not open an account to come and buy shares or buy bond. It is the investor. So for me as an operator, sorry, for the operator, for me as an operator, the duty is on us to create that financial literacy.
Exactly.
The duty is on operators. SEC can only provide the enabling environment for us to begin to let our investors or the shareholders or the general public to be aware of scheme they should not go into, or which one. And go to SEC website. If you are in doubt as an investor, you are in doubt of certain investment, go to SEC website. You get all the necessary information about the operator. So say for example now, Charles, me, if an investor want to know whether I am registered with SEC and I'm on clear standing with SEC, it's for them to go to SEC website and the name of my company and look at it. Whether it is there on SEC website as a registered operator in the capital market. So we always tell investors, you need to do your own little due diligence.
Exactly.
Because it is your money, it is your investment. So these are the things we tell them during financial literacy workshops and in every forum we find ourselves, because the investors need to be protected.
Exactly. And talking about protecting investors, there's this aspect that we also need to bring to them in a very simplified way. Global economy, global financial undoing happens, and Nigerian economy cannot be isolated from there. But for you, how do you think we can also embrace this to be able to put into practicality for the understanding of Nigerians on the impact of global economy as well as the impact on our local economy here, which the capital market is not isolated from.
Yes, thank you very much. This is very, very critical. And that is why for we trained stockbrokers, you don't just advise or recommend investment for your investors or for the general public. You need to do an education for them. They need to be enlightened as to looking at how rates are coming down in the advanced world. How is it going to affect rates in the country here? So if you are investing in the bond market, you need to exit and invest in the equities market. So that forms part of our awareness and enlightenment campaign that we always give to the general public. Because like you have said, the Nigerian economy is not insulated from the global economy. It is together. So every investor that is coming to the capital market need to have some level of knowledge, very basic knowledge as to how these economies affect each other. Because we have also seen foreign investors looking at rates is so low in their area, want to come to sub-Saharan Africa, emerging markets like Nigeria, because rates are better. At the same time, they're also looking at the climate in that area, the investment climate in that area. So all these are issues that the average investor need to have a basic understanding before we can now tell them, yes, you can invest in the Nigerian capital market.
Mr. Charles, thank you so much for coming on the show today. I express my gratitude for having you, a veteran broadcaster and someone who is so deep when it comes to Nigerian stock market. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you, Leko, for having me, and I want to appear regularly on your show. Thank
Definitely,
you.
That's been settled already. We have settled down. You are one of my stockbroker analysts, at least weekly. You'll be here to tell us what is happening in Nigerian stock market. I read so much of your report on what has happened in the market today. Within the last 4 days. But we'll get to do that in the coming days in the month of December and year 2026. But thank you so much for coming up today to educate us, to give us that simplified education on Nigerian stock market for today.
Thank you.
All right, sir. Thank you. I've been speaking with Mr. Charles Ominibe, to be a stockbroker and someone so deep in that regard. Engineer Gbenga is still here with me. Engineer, you can see how ICT is going in Nigeria. It is now part and parcel of the stock market. But what do you make of ICT translation, integration into the Nigerian capital market?
It's a good development, and like he said, it really makes investor access to the capital market very easy, and it will encourage transparency. It will make the market more transparent and increase confidence, on the aspect of investor, because you can monitor your your asset in the market, and can see how it's growing. And also, like he said, you can easily place what you want to sell or what you want to buy, and they are there now as a moderator, exactly, as a gateway, So, and also it will help even the foreign investor, portfolio investor, to come back to Nigeria. And that's why you see that if you look at from January to this time, the market are really growing a lot. So we need this one to really achieve that $1 trillion economy that we are aiming at. So it's really a huge thing that is happening. Like I said, we need more of this infrastructure to go around. Like now, an investor who travel to the village for Christmas should be able to monitor the market.
And ICT is there to do that for them.
So that's that we need more of 5G, more of the fiber going around the whole of the Nigeria, so that during Christmas or New Year, at home in my village as a holiday, I'll be able to monitor what is happening in the market, and also be able to invest 1 or 2 things in the market. So this is really a good development.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yeah. We have to leave it there because
thank you very much for having me
on our side for now. But having discussed the Nigerian energy sector mixed with the ICT, the Nigerian capital market is quite interesting to have Engineer Gbenga also come to.
Thank you for having me.
So thank you so much.
Thank you.
I've been speaking with Engineer. Although first it was Professor Ken Ife, then we moved to Mr. Fakorede Charles Eminobe there in Lagos, and here we are. Dr. Engineer Gbenga also joined us on discussion, particularly from the ICT sector, the capital market, and the PMS price being slashed by Dangote. It's a good one, and it is in a season of holiday, Christmas, New Year celebration. Now Dangote is slashing its price from 820 S-Depot price to 669 naira is S-Depot price for PMS. And what Engineer Gbenga said earlier was that we should encourage our drivers to also replicate and ensure that this price of PMS drop from Dangote reflect on the price of transportation fare across Nigeria. My name is Ade Folarin Olamilekun. Welcome to the end of today's edition of the Market Report. But we'll still coming back with loaded edition in the month of December for you. But till then, for next week, I want to say thank you so much for staying tuned and watching a Market Report on ADBN Television. To come your way again, bye for now.
ADBN, Advocate Broadcasting Network.
For your news on the go, ADBN is everywhere you are. Stay connected with us across all our social media and streaming platforms for exclusive news updates, captivating stories, and more. Join the ADBN community today via our various platforms. An Avo TV app, ADBN Channel 121, Niger TV app, ADBN TV, Linuxville TV app. To get the latest news straight to your phone, join our WhatsApp TV channel. Just search for ADBN TV and hit the follow button. Turn on your notification to stay updated and never miss any part of the experience. Stay in the conversation with us across social media handles. On X at ADBN TV, Instagram at ADBN TV, Facebook ADBN TV, YouTube ADBN TV. Keep visiting our website on www.adbntv.com. Watch us live anytime, anywhere. ADBN TV, a part of you.
It doesn't take a pandemic or an epidemic to know that clean hands save lives. Hand washing is essential anytime, anywhere to protect your health. So keep washing your hands, not just when they're dirty, but even on the go. Stay safe, stay healthy, keep your hands clean. ADBN, Advocate Broadcasting Network.